Yes, y'all, it's the garage again, and we are live here at Kia Automobile Showroom, the headquarter showroom in Lagos, Nigeria, for a particular lovely program today. It's actually the launch, or no, not the real launch actually. It's a media Parley program from Kia Motors. It's going to be a lovely one because it's the power to surprise, and I think that they will be surprising us today with those two little brands. And I want us all to go in there and see what they have, because I intend to enjoy myself here today. I love cars. I want to see the projects that's actually been put there. And note, these two vehicles are made in Nigeria. Yes, totally made in Nigeria, and we're going to get you into the assembly plant very soon so you can see what is actually done in there. So we're going right in now so that we can enjoy what Kia is offering us today. The media Parley is going to be lovely, and we believe that we're going to see those two vehicles right now. Let's go right in there. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Just before the media Parley session began, the media representatives at the exclusive event familiarized and settled down. The marketing manager, Kia Nigeria, Mr. Lawale Jimo, welcomed the media representatives present at the Kia Media Parley. Flanking him to his left is the Vice President, Sales, Kia Nigeria, Mr. Paul Obanja. To his right is the Vice President, Business Development, Kia Nigeria, Mr. Olutikolu.
We're impressionistic in terms of setting the pace as regards designs, and that's what Sonet is bringing to us. And it has now made us to now coin a word that captures the two things that we stand for, or that the car will stand for. So Sonet is a combination of two words, social, and the net is a network. So the vehicle is stylish, that is, makes it social, it's stylish, and it's also connected. It gives you this connection, between you and the car. You have this synergy to drive the car in a pleasurable way. So the Sonet is, like I said, is a combination of both social and network. That means a socially connected device, a socially connected mobile technology that gives you the end-to-end experience in terms of the society today. We're moving from, it used to be the brick and mortar kind of arrangement that we had earlier. Now we're moving into, COVID-19 has brought us into a more innovative, socially connected environment, and that's what Sonet is capturing. It's capturing the stylish part of being a car, and at the same time, it's also capturing the network, the network angle of connecting people from one place to another. So, like our new brand that speaks to the movement that inspires. So Sonet stylishly take you from a place where you are and takes you to a place of inspiration, and that's what Sonet is. So that's the background of a Sonet, social and network. So that's about the name. And Sonet comes with a 1.5 liter multi-point injection engine. What we've also noticed, what was also seen in the growing demand of the people, is that while people want to have a very good, robust and bold car in terms of appearance, they're also very conscious about the fuel economy of those cars. And that's why we have used a new technology, which is Kia's baby project in terms of MPI. We've advanced it to a stage where it gives the fuel economy of the car, while regardless of the drive mode that you're on, it gives you the best in the segment of that, the fuel economy for that particular, for Sonet. So the fuel economy is what is driving the 1.5 multi-point injection, engine that it does, and it's also a 6-automatic, transmission. So that's in terms of the engine and the transmission of the vehicle. Apart from that, the view, the outward look of Sonet is very, if you look at it, it's quite impressive. While it looks like a small SUV, inside is very roomy. So it gives you the sense of feeling at home, feeling very comfortable, and giving you the best experience while you're in motion. So it gives you the opportunity to do what you want to do. The leg room is there, the headroom is there, the the space is there, the armrest is there, the glove box is there, the place you can keep your your umbrella, all of that is there. So while it's a subcompact SUV, it's also fully loaded to give you the kind of comfort that you're expecting in a bigger SUV. So that's Sonet, and it gives you there's some signature design, the Tiger Grille signature design of Kia is also immersed in the front grille of the Sonet. It has a 6-sculpted bold, outward shape, that gives you some kind of a view of a trendy and a savvy, design, and that's what Sonet gives. While we're conducting you around the car after the unveiling, we'll also be speaking to some of the key features of the Sonet. And I must also say that in terms of the segment-wise, and I'm sure you're well versed in the industry, you can also see, when you see the Sonet, you'll see that it comes with more. It gives you more in terms of the rooming nature of the vehicle, the size of it, and also the 8 inches cluster screen that is in it. It gives you more, as regards that segment. People, other competition, other peers of Sonet are more concerned about making it an entry level, because it's an entry level SUV, more concerned about the basic feature. But we have gone to a different level to make it, rather than just a small car, a small vehicle. Let us fully pack it. It's something that are well placed and balanced features in it to give people who are driving it a very memorable experience. And that's Sonet. I don't know if you have 1 or 2 questions concerning Sonet.
This entry-level SUV, if you see, we do not have much competition in the market at the moment. See, all over the world, if you see the trend which is going, people have started accepting this entry-level SUVs. Basically, the target customers for these entry-level SUVs are small families, husband, wife, and kids, and the newly married one, as you rightly said, as well as the new people who have started their careers, this is their first car. And nowadays, it is actually a trend, people love to do off-roading, people wants to go for long drives and everything. And if you see that way, people always look for a vehicle which has got a higher ground clearance, which will have a very decent kind of a specifications, what you can be used on a daily basis, giving a lot of comfort, along with the kind of a vehicle what you can actually relate yourself with your daily life, daily communications. This is a vehicle which is actually started in our Indian assembly plant. This vehicle is coming in 1.5 liters engine, and the kind of reviews what we have received about this vehicle is the engine is extremely punchy. It has got a lot of torque, and it's got a lot of power, and the driving pleasure is beautiful. While we have started bringing this product, we actually thought what our customer would really like to see into this kind of a vehicle, because at the end of the day, you are paying your hard-earned money at this crisis period. Okay, so if I really want to go and buy a car, and what are the features and specifications what I would look into that car. So this car, what we have tried to bring with the best possible features, including the leather upholstery, including the cameras at the back side, sensors and everything, apart from the normal features like what we generally use on a daily basis.
For all the segments of all the contemporaries of Sonet, none of them has a leather seat. Okay. So it's a unique selling proposition for Sonet. So that just to portrays and it also has a smartphone connectivity and the like, some other features there are immense.
So leather seat comes.
No. It's no extra cost.
It's standard.
It's a standard for us. Standard.
For us, we have made
leather seat. The price is highly and very, very competitive, and at the same time, it gives you more. So the leather seat is one of the things that and it's also the rear sensor, the camera, review camera. Those are park sensors.
The touchscreen infotainment system, the Apple CarPlay, the Android CarPlay. These are the features which a young generation uses on a daily basis.
And also because an entry-level SUV, it also gives the driver the opportunity to navigate. We're looking at the possibility that some of the people that will be driving the Sonet might not necessarily be old, car owners and all that. They're just newly wedded and young people. So with the parking sensors, it also help them guide in how they can park and navigate, the way around. So,
and the essence of it, being an SUV, is meeting the needs of people with cars and talking about off-road possibilities. One of the things they have to achieve is the height.
Ground level.
Ground level.
Yeah, the ground level.
This kind is very good. And the dimensions are very, very impressive. This car has even capacity to be good, about 400 liters. You can park those about for the value of the showroom, 400, which is very good for a car. For the pricing, we are very competitive. Sure.
Okay, Mr. Tio.
How much is the competitive price?
Okay, the car is the range for that vehicle is around no, that's our own price. Competition. Around 12, 13, 14 within that range. Between 12, ours is about 11.7. 11.7.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So we just did a car recently,
Okay.
and that same picture you're talking about.
Yes.
Until you see what they have.
Yeah.
So see what they have. So based on that, I think I would like to take. I don't know the fund you've seen in starting your SUVs with SSS. Sonet, Seltos,
Sportage, Sorrento. Simple analogy.
You fall in love with S.
No, we didn't fall in love with it. Let me just quickly clear that. The essence of the S is the sportiness of all of those SUV
Or
vehicles.
sexy.
Oh yeah, service, particularly the sporty nature of the vehicle. That's what it is. So the sexy angle is coming in.
Why are you laughing like that? That's our common.
Because of the nature of the exposure of people now, in terms of designs, people are actually spoiled with choices. You could choose and say, okay, I want. In fact, as a matter of fact, the trend in car development now is leaving the traditional all-in-one segment. Okay, just build two trims for the same model. People are now developing into purpose-built vehicle (PBVs), where you can actually come and say, okay, I want my car, but at the same time, I don't want it to be I don't want it to be 5-seater. I just want 2-seater. I want a coupe version of it. I want a GT kind of version of it. So, it's tilting towards people making the choice. So it's not about the brand now giving the options out. It's about people getting, acquainted or getting to meet our own personal needs. That's why, and as a matter of fact, the target market that this Sonet speaks to is not the same thing with the Soul. Neither is it the same thing with the Seltos. For example, if you want to drive a sedan, you can actually say, okay, I want to go for maybe a K5, a K3. You say, okay, I don't want a K3, I want something higher. You can go for a K5. So it depends on your demand, and it depends on your own personal need. So for whatever need you want, there is a car that perfectly suits that need. Okay.
And what we are going home now is to go and put you, sir, about what you're saying about your car. It does not need the best impression for the motoring journalist.
Got you.
It's like giving me.
Now we will, but I'm listening.
I was also coming there.
Yeah, sure.
Giving me a impression needs to go and plan.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Plan.
Okay.
Just like.
Okay.
What's the way forward?
Okay. To start with, test drive on a general note now, not just for the media alone. Test drive is one of the cardinal points of cardinal selling point, and particularly buying process for Kia. Research has shown for Kia users that a certain percentage, which is highly increasing as the year goes by, would buy a car after having a test drive. So we're always, in fact, as a matter of fact, a couple of months back, there was a particular promo that we had that says, come in, have a test drive, and win something. So to encourage people, to come and have a test drive, just to let you know how much we value test drive and the first-hand experience of the car. But this, like I said earlier, is more or less like a media part. We will still have the launch proper. Before the launch, there will be a test drive where you can have from one location to the other. That we can always factor in. It's not. In fact, if you come into my showroom now, say for example, you just walk in here and say, I want a test drive of Chorus. We'll be happy to just say, okay, let's get a sales advisor, get a driver to help you, in terms of the handling and all that. Then you go do your test drive. So it's a normal thing that we are open to. and it's also in the pipeline to have you come and have a test drive. This is just like an introductory meeting for you to know what we have to offer. A new car that has just come in less than 2 weeks, so for you to have a view of the car. Then the test drive, the launch, and the other things will come
to get you all introduced with the vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
My question is that for these two SUVs now, what are the engine options that we have and the transmission options? Will there be a manual and the options? What are the options?
Okay. For now, this is 1.5. Standard for Sonet is 1.5 for now. As time goes by, depending on the market feelers that we get, we can always play around the engine. There is a 1.6 for the car as well, and the diesel, but diesel is not very common here in Nigeria. So there's a 1.6 liter and 1.5 liter. But we had also taken into consideration the kind of cravings for the people here. People are more concerned about the fuel economy. So for a 1.5 liter, the fuel consumption will be quite, will differ from 1.6 liter. That's why the standard level is 1.5. But as time goes by, there can always be, an inclusion of other engine level. And on the other hand, we had also seen that manual transmission in Nigeria is becoming an old-fashioned, trend. People don't, as soon as anybody comes into it, I say manual. It's like, people don't see in other part of the world
driving a manual car anymore.
Yeah, so in other part of the world, some people still crave to drive a manual because of you are in control of the race and all of that. But here, with the kind of traffic that is in Lagos, it's not a very good. People don't get to lean towards that angle again.
What about the gear options, the transmission options?
6-speed automatic.
Yeah. So, like you mentioned, demands are changing.
Sure.
Globally, you agree with me that demand has also changed likewise from combustion
to electric vehicle.
Yeah. What's the plan with all of these vehicles, knowing that people also want to be conservative?
Okay, yeah. To start with, I will quickly do a little background to electric vehicle. As far as Nigeria is concerned, let's bring it locally now. Across the world, just to chip this in, across the world, Kia is one of the leading brands in terms of electric vehicles. As a matter of fact, before 2023, there will be 6 electric vehicles, different models that will be coming out from Kia. But locally now, the first electric vehicle to grace, I'm not talking about hybrid now, pure electric vehicle to grace Nigerian market is actually the Soul EV. The Soul, that was in 2014-15 that was brought, that we brought that. So the Soul, to have an electric vehicle, there is much to the infrastructure that has to be laid on ground before you have a smooth running of an electric vehicle. If quite a number of experience that we've seen elsewhere apart from Nigeria. For example, in this Adeola Odeku now, you would see one electric vehicle, electric charging spot, maybe at the front of perhaps maybe park and shop. Before you get to Ozumbamba Diwe or thereabout, there will be another. So it's like a normal, like the way you see filling stations, spring up everywhere in Lagos. That's the same way electric charging ports are everywhere in the European world. But in Nigeria now, with our peculiarity, with our challenges, electric charging ports is near to not there yet, near to zero, so to speak. So for you to now have an electric vehicle, you need to have those infrastructure in place. You need to also have the understanding of the government, because the initial cost of ownership of an electric vehicle is quite high, but the cost of retaining it for a period of time is very, very economical. But holding it at first, as a matter of fact, we're even driving towards bringing the price of the cars down, because the pricing mechanism in the auto industry now has gone to a level where a new car is becoming more like a kind of luxury, so to speak. The affordability, you have to do more to make it affordable. Looking at the other financial factors that are in place in terms of pricing. So for electric vehicle, we are there. We are always ready. We are the first to bring, and we have quite a number of them lined up to bring into the country. However, we are also not oblivious of what is on ground. So there should be we need to strike a balance between our trendy pace globally and also the local reality that we're faced with in the country before we start, but at any point in time, as soon as the provision is there for electric and individual orders, are always, as a matter of fact, quite a number of Senate, I think the 7th Senate now, I mean the 7th, before this Senate, quite a number of them are driving the sole electric vehicle. You know, a known one of them is Ben Bruce. You know, he's still driving his own electric vehicle as we speak. So we have quite a number of them across the country. But the challenge is what I've said: charging spots, government support. Because if you look at electric vehicle, apart from electric vehicle just for the customers now, just for to be trendy, you know, it's also speak to the global climate conditioning of all society. You know, in Europe, they are concerned about global warming, so they're looking at a near zero carbon, you know, monoxide, vehicle. But like I said, you know, we still have our own peculiarity. So something else.
Because the idea is our federal hybrid. Do you agree with me that the federal government is also planning to do an auto gas stuff?
Yes.
Engines like this could also be converted.
Definitely. All our engines can be converted to both what do you call it now? Gas and the fuel. So CNG. God bless you. Can be converted. Yeah. All of them. All the vehicles. CNG. Yes.
So when did you assemble? What did you look at assemble a Kia vehicle?
When?
Your assembly plant.
When did we?
When last did you assemble the?
This morning. The assembly as we speak.
Even it's happening
as we
right
speak,
now.
I can tell them to send a picture now.
So
the
the picture I'm trying to paint is
yes.
We've heard about local assembly. Yeah. Our thinking here is you are Nigerian, local, are you people really assembling in the right sense of it? Okay,
Mr. President, you know, your honorable sir, His Excellency.
Yes,
see, the thing is this, as laid out by the NADDC policy, which we keyed into, one of the first, you know, brands and companies to key into that policy in 2014. There are stages of assembling process in the country. SKD2, SKD1, CKD, you know, it goes like that. So there are stages of assembling a vehicle in the country, and there are timeline to meet, you know, to graduate from one level to the other level. To the best practices that we are known for as far as Kia is concerned in the country, we are following, you know, with those stages as well lined up, you know, and at a point we're growing into, in fact, as a matter of fact, now we're one of the few auto assemblers in the country that has, you know, gotten quite a number of this percentage of local content in our vehicles is actually very high. You know, they are not just knockdown parts, there are also some other parts that are sourced locally. However, the reality on ground is that for you to have a fully functioning assembling plant or manufacturing plant in any country, you need to have a supporting, auxiliary, manufacturers who would provide you the tires, the batteries, the spark plugs, the trimmings of the vehicles, the leather, the share, all of those things have to be in place because, I'm sure everybody knows that the car is assembled, has components, about thousands and thousands of components to make up, a car. So those things have to be there. And what brings about those things is the market. So if the market is what drives investment. If the market is very high, the quantity that is required, the number of quantity that is pushed into the market is high, then that brings a number of investors to start looking at those component, manufacturing angles of cars, and that gives you an end-to-end value chain in terms of assembling the vehicle. But that the volume is not there yet. Well, hopefully at a point the volume will be there, but as it is now, the volume is not there. However, and in addition to that, one of the things that was also spelled out in the auto policy was to make finance scheme affordable, accessible, and as easy as possible. We're looking at a finance scheme that it's either a single digit interest rate or a very lower double digit interest rate. That is to be supported by the federal government. And I'm sure there have been talk lately to galvanize some of these financial institutions towards making that a reality. But as we speak now, it's still not there. So as soon as those things there, it drives the volume. The volume drives the ancillary manufacturers. The ancillary manufacturers drive the completely knockdown assembling of vehicles. And that's what
Yeah, before we go into Seltos, because some of the questions are also for Seltos. The natural question that you follow is question is this.
Yes, sir.
Right away, do we have Sonet being assembled here in Nigeria?
Okay, sir. Whatever car you see in my showroom, outside the showroom, all new cars standing as well as the cars which are there inside, each and every car is assembled here in Nigeria. Even sometimes, even if you wish to, you can just visit our assembly plant and see.
Apart from Chorus is rural.
You know the local assembly, it has to be reflected in the story.
It's a made in Nigerian vehicle. Absolutely. It's a made in Nigerian vehicle.
Then you also said something, sorry, quickly, so that I don't forget.
Yeah.
You said also that you have local content. I used to think that as we have now, all vehicles assembled in Nigeria, they are under CKD.
SKD.
That is all the parts are
semi-knockdown,
and everything is there.
Sure.
So I only know if there is any part that is made or produced here that is part of your car. So maybe the general question is, what percentage do you have?
I know that's an area. If we start asking questions,
Mr. Rashid, see, the point is this: like I said, you can be rest assured of the local content inclusion in the car. The vehicles are made in Nigeria, and as time goes by, maybe one of these days, we would look for an avenue where the thrust of our discussion will be basically assembling, and you yourself would see you will have a first-hand experience of how the process from where the car is, how the knockdown are, what is the knockdown in effect, what are the things that is now sourced locally. We have partners, across the country that also support the vehicle assembly. So, but for now, let's, Sonet and because it's now looking like the questions will be having for me for like almost few months. You want to fire down. Okay, yeah. So Sonet. Okay. Thank you so much. Wow, that's like a firing section with the. Okay, yeah. The Seltos now. Seltos. Let me just quickly dash down on Seltos. Maybe while we're looking at the car, we can go in detail of what the features and what this, the outlook and the exterior look is like. So Seltos is actually, gotten from, is actually derived from the Greek mythology of Seltos. That is the C now, not the S. The C Seltos is the son of the greater Greece. So because of the, I'm sure I wouldn't want to bore you with the storyline of Achilles and Seltos, what's the relationship of Seltos and the Greek. I don't want to bore you with all of that. Yeah. But in a nutshell, what Seltos in his own time, what it stands for is setting a pace, being different, being bold, being stylish. Because at that point, it brought some innovative structures and architectural design into the Greek. So that's what Seltos in the Achilles is like, and that's what our own Seltos also stands for. It's a B segment, quite alright. However, it is boastful of more in his own segment, because it's bigger, it's longer, its dimension is longer, it's wider. It gives you the interior is also, like I said about Sonet. This Seltos is another level of, is a step up to the Sonet, and at the same time, it has a bigger engine of 1.6 liter MPI. Same thing with fuel economy, multi-point injection. It's also a 6 automatic transmission. It has the rear sensor, park camera, all of those features. But one of the things that makes it stand out in the B segment SUV, when you compare it with other vehicles in that segment, is its size. It's bigger and it's fully packed with features. It comes with a refined cut, wheel. 16 inches wheel. The Sonet now, I quickly remember that, is a 15 inches, alloy rims for the Sonet. The Seltos is a 16 inches, wheel. So it's a MacPherson strut and all of that. Those are the details of. But while we're there, I'll give you, some other. While we're walking around it, I'll give you some other information about the Seltos. So Seltos, like the name
connotes is a badass design. It's for the guy that can clear. It's for those who can take challenges head on and face it, head on, and that's what Seltos does. It might it might be in the smaller segment SUV, but it takes on challenges that the bigger SUV also does. It's a fully robust, well balanced ground clearance level is also very high. Considering our own peculiar nature of our roads, it also gives you the balance on even in the portal and all that. You could still navigate your way around some of these beautiful roads of ours. So that's what Seltos brings to the fore. So Seltos is more of the top echelon of the B segment, and the Sonet is an entry level to the B segment. And we also look at the lamp, the head lamp now. It stands out from competition, and even from the Kia trim. Okay, it is a bit. So you could see that it's well, it creates impression anywhere it goes. So please, question.
What are your sales projections?
Okay, sales projections for the Seltos. Our projection is to have at least both Sonet and Seltos now, because they are both B segment. We want to take over on their own without we even being pushy about it. On their own, they give you the impression that they are here not to joke. They are here to take over the market space. They are here to have a large, if not the majority chunk of that market size. And that's, and I'm sure you're also aware that despite the fact that the buying power has also reduced compared to past few years, regardless of what the demand is all about, we're sure that it will all be hovering around both the Sonet and the Seltos.
Okay, price wise.
Yeah, okay, price wise is 13 million.
13.
13. No, it's not. It's bigger than the price, but no, the translation means that something that is bigger than the value placed on it, the price value.
Okay.
Yeah.
There seems to be this emphasis,
yes,
generally, not just your brand, on lower end SUV. I don't know if I'll give you an example. GD, not long ago, did Kure.
Okay.
I think Hyundai, not long ago, introduced a new version of, Creta.
Yeah.
Here you are, two vehicles at the center, and they're all
B segment.
Yes. Is this a function of the shrinking market and then the drop in purchasing power?
Okay.
In other words, people are no longer buying, or they don't have big money to buy big SUVs.
Okay. Let
this be a good analysis?
Globally, no. What is there is that if you look at the global market now, all over the world, the B segment SUV is where the market is tilting towards, and that's why you see that everybody is now, looking at that direction, or the B segment SUV. So what is there is that people want a vehicle that is sporty, not too big. They don't want a very big vehicle. At the same time, they want it to be sporty. They want it to be the ground clearance to be high. They want to be roomy. They want it to be a vehicle that could convey, conveniently 5 passengers, on board. So that's what the B segment, and globally, it's what everybody is now tilting towards. So car now is car market now is now divided in between efficiency and luxury. So if you want the luxury, then the high, but the majority of the people just want to move. The essence of owning car these days has gone beyond a show of big man show. It has gone into a necessity thing. So when your need to move from one place to another has now necessitated you to own a car, so why not look for something that is in between, a sedan and also a compact SUV, and at the same time the price is right. So that's what is driving the force behind all cars now pitching towards tilting towards the B segment. That's and also the designs of vehicles now are looking more like sporty youthfulness. needs to be breathed into the vehicles. Like the bigger SUVs, they are more robust, more luxurious. People want something that is sporty. Quickly, you could go in there, move it around, navigate your way around without creating necessary traffic in your own way along the road. So that's what. And at the same time, for Nigeria now, in Nigerian case now, we have also understood the fact that our taste in the taste board of car owners in Nigeria, it's SUV-like vehicle. We want vehicle that is bigger. Like not just sedan, not just a car. People love to drive an SUV. So when they love to drive an SUV, I'm saying that they don't want to drive the bigger, larger SUV. So why not just look for something that they can relate to, and also pricing mechanism speaks to that angle too.
I want to ask in the area of security for the vehicle.
Okay.
What is some of the features you can put in the vehicle? Like I know of one or two vehicles that once you get in, maybe your fingerprint at the door, or like it has a recognition of just like
voice
people
recognition.
recognize my face, and the vehicle recognize me.
Okay.
And with the security issues happening,
Sure.
how do I escape a particular scene without being caught or maybe demobilizing the vehicle?
Okay.
At a particular
Okay. The option of security in vehicles are quite differ. They are quite differ from individual to individual. Some would want a tracking device attached to the vehicle. Some would want a voice recognition. Some would want a fingerprint. Some, depending on your yearnings for those security, so to speak. Those are additional value, we call value-added services to the car. The car as it is, what we're explaining are the standard features. So if you're now in need of all of those other security features that you want in the car, you can always get. And I can also tell you that one of the things that Kia has also developed is what we call UVO, an infotainment system where it recognizes, like the way you undo your phone, your touch screen, where you could do your thumbprint to open and out. It's well embedded in that infotainment system. So you could do all you want and in fact some of our vehicles now, you can be far away, let's say maybe 3 blocks from the vehicle, and switch off the engine or switch it on. A practical example is the K5. You could be elsewhere and just switch it on and put the AC on when you're not there. And the same vice versa, you can also switch it off again while you're not there and the whole thing goes off. So those are the things that the vehicles come with. But like I said, they are optional features that when it's required, when it's requested for, they can. The provisions are there already.
One question is these two cars, Seltos and Sonet.
Yeah.
Is it one is Badass design?
And the world is bad.
Why design? On this question.
Okay, on the. Okay, I will show you. I have something in place to show you why this guy is the badass and this other guy here is wild. I'll show you. Don't worry. Let's. It's better to see than to explain.
I know Kia has an ownership program kind of
yes.
auto finance scheme.
Yes.
Does it cover this name model?
Okay.
And also, do you also have a kind of swapping program?
Okay. Trading. Okay. Yeah. One of the things that we've done in our own way to make our cars very affordable and accessible to customers is to always make sure that we look for the best possible scheme that would, speak to the interests of our customers. Most importantly, and make them own those vehicles. And that's why we've always been at the frontier of getting finance schemes. Not just any finance schemes now. Finance schemes that are well, tailor-made and with a very low interest market-wise to get them to own it. And that's why we're in talks. We're in an advanced stage with having partnership with one of the leading finance scheme providers in the country. Very soon it will be unveiled, and the finance platform gives you the opportunity. Before now, the usual practice is to have a tie-up with one financial institution. After a few months or after the duration of that has elapsed, move to another financial institution that's also very affordable. Have with that, move to this sort of. So maybe by the year you would have covered about 4 or 5 different banks or financial institutions. But what we're doing now is with the partnership that we're entering now is to bring all of those financial institutions into one. Because one of the challenges that we also had then was that some of the people would say, I want to buy this car, but I don't want to open an account with this bank. Why are you not doing with my own personal bank? I have a very good relation with my bank manager. Why are you not doing? So instead of us to now say,
every
okay,
customer, they have their own salary accounts or the business accounts with their own respective banks. So any customer who has got that preference to their own banks, right now, this is a business for us as well as this is equally a business for the banks. Any customer, we are having some tie-ups with some of the banks, of course, for sure, as well as just Wally rightly said, we are just about to start a new finance, very attractive finance scheme, especially for this new year, which we are approaching slowly. Okay, but apart from that one, any customers who are coming with their any preferential banks, definitely we can definitely work out with their banks and definitely we can see how best we can take things forward.
The media representatives were removed with pride to have an idea of what a sonnet looks like.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Press release to your sending storyline of the madhouse thing. I'm sure you're interested in that one. This one, very soon. Sonnet.
Street.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think it's how we have to close. So, you're unveiling now.
Then the unveiling was done.
As the sun rises, so it has risen. Let's come through.
Okay, that's good.
Boy, your face.
Okay. Just come back to the car first. Wait, hold on. Let's also see his face. No. Let him just natural like that. Okay.
The city only changed because we see cars around us and what it really is.
Okay. Are you ready?
Making far higher come out in 3D is hard to get right. Taking a step back is the moment to reflect on my work.
Yes, yo, and that is it. Together we enjoy that today, and we're going to have much more fun. That's the Sonet subcompact SUV, and definitely the Seltos. I love the name Sonet because it comes from social network. How does that sound? Social network, like a connectivity thing. So that car should give us some very lovely connection, and that is the media Parley from Kia Motors Nigeria. We hope to have some more fun together as we go around with this car. We're going to have a drive review as the time comes, and they give us the demo to work with. Do have a wonderful one, and install from the garage. Do subscribe right there. Push that button and subscribe so that you can get every opportunity to get on any of our videos at the drop on the channel. Have a wonderful one. And be good by Seltos or Sonet.